Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be with you and all my new subscribers. I am so blessed to have you here, and I am excited to share my budget with you. Now, my voice and my hands are not going to be the same. I accidentally recorded this without my voice, and here I am coming back and doing voiceover. So I hope that's okay with you and that we get this fixed. So what I have here is my paycheck to budget, and what I was talking about was I already closed it out before I came on camera because I made an error somewhere and I didn't want to confuse you guys by going back and doing the adjustments and going, what did I do? I don't know what I did. I just know I made an error. So anyways, but I did know the exact amount of what was in my checking account from before my husband gets paid for paycheck 3. And that was the balance forward that I'm pointing at here. And I made a note at the bottom. And so I'm going to take that number and I'm going to put it on paycheck 3 as what I'm balancing forward. And I'm going to add the salary amount. Now I already know how much the salary is. It does not change, so I don't have to worry about that. And I'm going to go fill that in and go ahead and start doing the calculations for that. Here I guess I'm talking about the overages of overspending from paycheck 2 and my weekly check-in week 1 and week 2. And the total numbers, which is in a previous video just before this one. So if you want to check out my weekly check-in video, I will have it in the cards and you can kind of right here check that out. And at the end of this video, I also have it listed in those cards so you can easily navigate back to it. I keep it in a playlist, so there's many ways to get to my past videos. So what am I doing here? Oh, the editing version. This is going to be fun. So that's the number. I think I just typed it in so I can go ahead and write it on top, and then I can add, oh, I'm zooming in as well, and then add in the balance forward and the salary. So it was nice to see that there was $1,000 that though we overspent the previous paycheck 1 and 2 a little bit, we weren't so overspendy that we blew all of it like I had been doing in November. November and Black Friday always gets me, so yeah, here I am. And it was nice to see that number roll over, so I am very comfortable with that. I'm trying to save as much as possible by the end of the month because we are getting an extra paycheck on paycheck 4 that has no bills attached to it. We will tithe that check, but we don't have any bills to pay with it. So we are moving everything left over at the end of December and moving that balance over into savings for our emergency fund to rebuild it. We're like at 7 months. I'm trying to build it back up to 8 months, and it will happen soon. Now, this is my husband's salary, $2,523.47 is what the salary actually is. And other is anything that might come in, and I am just going to put 0 here because I don't budget for anything that I don't know that's coming, so I'm not going to worry about that. All right, getting situated on the camera here. And probably zooming out a little bit, I'm not sure. I'm adjusting the brightness. That's what I'm trying to do. This is interesting doing a voiceover. I've never really done one before. So I'm totaling these two numbers. Oh, I've done 1 or 2, but I don't do these regularly. I'm totaling these two numbers up and writing that number down, which was $3,556.72. Now, sinking funds, or the expenses where it starts with sinking funds and going forward, what I'm going to do is just find out, do I have enough income to cover all the expenses, including my variable spending, and what I project I will be spending for paycheck 3. Now, with paycheck 3, I want to go back and look at my spending, and I was showing I had notes on what I was actually going to put for my fixed expenses, and then I'm going to carry over what is left in the budget for my spending categories, and hopefully stay within those variable spending categories. So sinking funds is $455.86, and that will cover any annual expenses that I have. I have not done a sinking funds video. I probably will do that when towards the end of the month, if I can get one up with Christmas happening and family and travel. But that covers all the yearly expenses that we expect. But we are trying to navigate and make sure those expenses are covered and are a part of all right, I don't even know what I'm saying now. We'll just make sure the sinking funds are taken care of. The joint is my husband's purchase. I have I guess a contract, and he has a contract. We go 4 times a month, and that covers his. Mine came out the day before at the previous paycheck budget, and his comes out on this one. So we tithe the salary, which is $553, and next we have electric, which was 170. Let me see here, $72.69. This includes all of our heating and electric and washing and all the good stuff. And we also actually power a street light on our rural road, so that's included in that. USCCA, that's my husband's, $39.17. Life insurance, $87.56, and iTunes, $2.99. Discovery Plus, $6.99, and Vivint, $61.46. So that is our fixed expenses. And now moving on, looking at my weekly check-in to see what the balance is for our week 3 and week 4 of our weekly check-in. So I have week 3 and week 4 under Paycheck 3, and I want to make sure that I can cover it all with the total that is in the bank account, total that's in the bank account. Let's see, $389.08 plus the $400 I plan to budget. That gives us over $700, $789.08. And hopefully that should get us through to the new year, starting the 16th. So it's the last 2 weeks of the month, with a couple extra days. And I think we'll make it on that amount, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm balancing forward $65.09, and I'm adding, I forgot what I was adding, like $125 or something. Let's see here. Yeah, $125 to restaurants. Now, what I had decided to do is once, like, this week 3 check-in happens, once I hit $65, I'm going to stop counting restaurants, and any restaurants above that, I will go and put that under unbudgeted and not under restaurants. So that's what I'm going to do there. Miscellaneous, let's see here. I have $137.50 that I'm going to add to it, and that was only 90 some cents difference from the previous week that I went over, so 97 cents. So I'm adding $136.53 to that. And that is what the new budget is for the miscellaneous, $274.03. Now, gasoline, I did budget kind of high because we're traveling 2 hours one direction. So there and back, that makes 4 hours. And then we're going to do that trip again, another 4-hour round trip, and visiting family over the holidays. So there's going to be some driving. I just wanted to make sure I had enough budgeted for that gasoline, and that's why my gasoline category is kind of high. I did $87.50 plus what we had left over, which was still pretty high, $144.83. Now, in the middle of all this, when I budgeted at the beginning of the month gas prices were a little higher than what they are now. So I didn't realize that they were going to drop like they are, and so we're not spending as much on gas. So that should help add to the buffer of the checking account or the buffer of these categories if necessary, to kind of keep everything straight. So we'll see. I don't budget anything for unbudgeted, so I should be putting 0 there. Not sure what I'm talking about here, but there we go, 0. Medical copay is the next category. Prescription copay. It depends on what mood I'm in, what I call it. But basically copay. I do $75 every time. I have 183 there, 16. I budgeted off of last month's numbers, but last month we had a large expense on copays for prescriptions, and so we're still making adjustments and finding ways to have it cheaper and figuring it out. So yeah, that is that. That is the fixed expenses. Those are the variable expenses. And I should be totaling up the total here in just 1 second. So let's get to that. Can't remember what I said here. I really wish I had recorded the sound. I might have to skip this part. Okay, here we are. So I'm going to total these up and I will be right back. Okay, as you can see here on the calculator, I've totaled both fixed and variable expenses at $2,892.41. I am off screen. I do apologize. I didn't realize you weren't seeing the bottom sticker that I had at the bottom where I filled out the 2 individual categories, but I totaled them together, and then I can subtract that number with the income, and apparently I'm talking about some of the categories here, just to let you know that this is what they are, and I'm not sure what I'm doing. So I'm going to subtract here. I'm going to take the number from the income and get the difference. So it's $3,556.72. And if I quit talking, I'll get to that. And there we go. So what is left over for the month is $664.31. For not the month, I mean for Paycheck 3. So that's a nice, not too large of a buffer. Good thing I carried money over from the previous month that definitely covers the expenses for spending, and we still have $664.31 left over. So that is excellent. And hopefully, I don't spend all of that, and I can keep that $664.31 plus what's left over from our Paycheck 4 and use all of that to repay our savings that we used to pay off the credit card in November for our overspending then, and get back up to 8 months, which is our minimum that we like to keep of 8 months of salary. We don't do 8 months of expenses. We do 8 months of salary in our emergency fund. I want to replace my husband's income, not replace and take care of what we need to spend. So that's why we do that. And I will do a whole video on that as well, on where my emergency fund is and how much we were able to repay back and what we owe. And it should be pretty close, but we're probably over $1,000 short on what we need for our emergency fund to get back to 8 months. So I'm kind of sad that we spent that much this year, but I'm kind of happy that we got to spend and comfortably and still pay off the credit card. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my video, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
It's December.